ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Ringside Roundup, brought to you by the Game Changer Sports Network. We've got big news because we have been gone for about 3 weeks. I can't believe it's been that long, Martin. It has been much too long, and we've got a whole lot of wrestling news to cover. But before we get into that, you guys know I am Jay Dare, and with me is Mr. Martin Lee, the smartest man in the room. Martin, say hello to the lovelies.
Hey guys, it's been long.
It has been. Richard Wright, how we doing? Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got a whole lot to talk about. We've got so much stuff going on, and I've got to try to work everything on my own because Jake's not here. It's just the two of us. Brian, thank you so much. The best wrestling talk show is back. That's right. We're going to be going with whatever we can. I am trying to go ahead and cool off because it is hotter than a witch's cauldron at my place right now. The Highway Star, LFG. Thank you, man. Welcome in, everybody. You game changers. We appreciate all of you. Remember, if you want to help us out, we've got all sorts of networks for you to catch us on. And right now, Twitch is the big one. If you want, please show your support. Join us on Twitch. Give us a follow. Comment, like, share. Make sure all your wrestling buddies know about us. But with all that being put aside, finally, look at these beautiful men. Look at that beautiful man. We cannot wait to have you join us, Craith. And Mr. Jake Jollymore is here with us in spirit. We're going to be doing something a little special. We know that we have been away for a little bit. So tonight, we're not just going 1 hour. We're not just going 1.5 hours. We're going 2 hours. We're going for the 2. I'm leaking on myself now. So let's jump right into it, shall we, Martin? I mean, really, when it comes down to it, we've got a lot to cover, and we had some shocking news across the board. I would say across just about every company. Since we've been gone. So let's start off with the most shocking, the biggest company, the one that we love to defend its honor of and just would never, ever make fun of. Yeah, we missed 1 or 2 things. Yes, we did. We missed quite a few. But let's go ahead and talk about our favorite company out there, the WWE. Because I know your favorite show when you're resting on a Monday night is to go ahead and hop on the dubs and watch some Monday Night Raw, which after some releases will not have some familiar faces. Are we shocked about some of the releases that have just happened over here?
Aleister Black, I'm not shocked about. Wait, now that I think of it, yeah, I'm shocked about Aleister Black. Braun Strowman, first, I was surprised, but thinking about it, no. I'm not surprised about Braun. Murphy, it was bound to happen.
Yeah.
Ruby Riott, that's a little bit surprising right there.
Ruby was surprising.
And the Santana something Garrett, I think. Yeah,
Santana Garrett.
But the main two are Black and Strowman. I'll go Black first. So as we all know, Aleister Black has been not seen in WWE for a while. And over the past few weeks before he got cut, he put on these amazing promos. And I remember thinking, oh, what's gonna happen? Then you go and bring him back with Big E. Which, no problem. That's a good feud for him.
Yeah, I think we all would have enjoyed that.
And then the next week, they do nothing. I'm like, okay.
No.
I give it a week. I'm like, okay, maybe they wanted to cool them off from it. But then you cut him? I'm sorry, but you get all this promotion and bring him back for just 2 weeks? Like, why? Just why? He had a great gimmick. He had something good going on with Big E. And They just cut him. I don't know why. Oh, and Lana was also cut as well.
Lana was also, absolutely. Lana was also part of that, but it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. And there's been a lot of speculation on why WWE has gone ahead and released these wrestlers.
Yeah.
Because the WWE hates everything the fans like. Well, I don't think we could have timed that any better. Thank you, Jake.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Jake, adding to the show, Mr. Jake Jollymore, somewhere up there in spirit, somewhere in the ether. But yes, going about these releases, there's been a lot of conversation going around, a lot of speculation on why they would release a lot of these stars. They say Braun Strowman was released because he had a massive contract. But they were also worried about being injury prone.
Yep.
With his knees.
In fact, he was the highest paid person on the roster outside of Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, which when you look at it now, it kind of makes sense because Strowman's getting paid a lot, the third highest paid member on the roster, and he hasn't been living up to his contract as of late, and not all of it is his fault. Half of it is Terry Crews' fault. And you think of this as an athlete who has injury concerns and who can't be on the field, but you have to keep. But since there's no salary cap in WWE, and they don't have to retain any salary, they can just cut Strowman, and I think it's a good move. Now,
when it comes down to it,
Lana. Okay, so I'm going to give you something here. So
go ahead.
The women's tag team division. Can you name me the other tag teams now that are in the division?
No, I cannot name a single one right now.
Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, and Tamina and Natalya. Just two. In the main roster women's division, just two. And to me, that is a problem. And I think they're going to fix it.
That's a huge problem.
And I think they're going to fix it. So this is how you fix it. You have the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, right? And Candice LeRae and Hartwell, those two men agree as NXT Tag Team Champions. Women's Tag Team Champions. But here's what I would do. I get rid of the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship, and then I split the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship across all three brands. It's that simple.
Right.
Like, you don't have enough people on the main roster to have tag teams. But NXT, that's what you can do. But the problem is, they started doing that, but then they stopped, which I don't get why.
It's insane. I mean, as you said. By the way, we want to real quick shout out to Shadow Outsider. Thank you for the follow. We appreciate you, man. Remember, guys, Twitch is the place where we're trying to get big right now. So if you can follow us on Twitch, that is the place to be. But that being said, as the Highway Star pointed out, with only two teams on the main roster division, it's crazy to think that that's what they would get rid of is some women's tag team wrestlers and Ruby Riott.
In Lana.
It's insane right now. And as you said, some of these don't make sense. Some of these do make sense from a business perspective. Okay, Braun Strowman, he gets released because he's got the third highest contract. And when it comes down to it, WWE has a large roster. Across the brands, you've got about 300 people on the roster. That's insane. That's crazy amounts of people on this roster. You can't put 300 people on TV. And sure, some of them are in the performance center, and so obviously not all of them are on TV. But when people are ready, are they able to go ahead and throw on shows and things like that? It's hard to say. And that.
You want to say now? Sorry.
And when it comes down to it, having that large of a roster has become problematic for WWE. So releasing some of your highest paid guys to save some money, sure, but are they going to replace them? I mean, Braun Strowman could easily be replaced by Keith Lee when it comes to monsters.
But where has Keith Lee been? That's the thing. Where has he been?
Aleister Black, as you said, coming back from a hiatus to start going with Big E to be released. Bad planning. Bad planning. I mean, if you're going to release people, you've got to see what you have on TV, what's going on with storyboards, and maybe try to take care, try to make sure things at least finish before you start releasing people. It is just, these releases don't seem to make sense to me overall. And the thing was, there's a lot of speculation saying that the reason why they got rid of so many of these people were because WWE is trying to make it look good to go ahead and sell the company. Now, there have been rumors that NBC might buy it for, I believe it was $2 billion or something like that. There's a lot of, no one's really sure what was that?
There's a lot of moving parts to that.
Yes, there's absolutely a lot of moving parts. Now, what do you think about this rumor that WWE might be up for sale?
I don't mind it because maybe because it might make sense to sell the company because NBC and WWE has been pretty good, had a pretty good partnership over the past few years. The WWE even sold the WWE network to NBC, and and to me, NBC is the best, most logical point here. And to me, if they sell to NBC, they make the new fish faces, and it won't happen until Vince is out and retires, which I can see that happening within the next 2 years. But with them selling NBC, I can see that happening. And the reason why they're cutting so many people is to make it more presentable to like investors of NBC. And sure, there's gonna be more companies than NBC that'll be interested in buying it. But to me, it has to be NBC.
And now, of course, again, this is all speculation. That was a rumor that went out. From what I've looked up, going through everything, it doesn't look like the sale is there is going to be a sale. It doesn't look like that. I think we can take a look at the stock price, WWE's stock price and things like that, and see that there's not a huge panic or anything about it. Vince's final FU to his kids. You don't get it. I'ma sell it. Yeah, that's a slap in the face right there, isn't it? But yeah, we're right now. It's hard to say what's really going on. The speculation is, of course, that they're going to sell. If they do sell, you got to go somewhere that's going to give them new writers, and you got to give them people that know wrestling. That's the biggest thing. Is you can have all the writers in the world that know how to write great TV shows and great sitcoms and everything like that, but you also need to have old-fashioned bookers that know how to book wrestling matches, and that is my biggest concern. When it comes down to it, though, can WWE do any worse than it has been?
I don't think it can.
I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine just earlier, right before the show. In fact, we were watching Dominion's main event for New Japan, so I knew exactly what happened in the match. When it comes down to it, he Shadow Outsider, who had just followed us on Twitch, thanks, buddy, we appreciate you. He legit was yelling in frustration, saying he refuses to watch Raw anymore. Tell me if that doesn't sound a little familiar on this show, Martin.
Yes, it is.
Refuses to watch Raw.
Yeah,
it's mind-blowing.
Yeah, because that's like me. Because
how can Raw?
I never watch anymore. Like if I'm bored, maybe I'll watch it. But mainly, most of the time, it's on in the background. Maybe it's on in the background. But to me, I just get all my results online. I cannot sit through 3 hours on Monday Night Raw. I can't do it.
And his biggest thing, Shayna Baszler.
What's going on with Shayna Baszler right
now? Oh. No, I'm getting you started, Martin. We're getting started. We got to go 2 hours, and the energy's got to be high. We are getting started. Shayna Baszler is feuding with a doll?
Yeah. So one of your biggest NXT, well, one of the most biggest people in NXT who came in like a legit badass. She's a legit badass. But then you have her do this? I just don't get it.
She came in and bit Becky Lynch's neck. She came in and she eliminated everyone in the Elimination Chamber.
It all started out well for her. But now she's doing this.
With a doll. What's going on, man?
I don't know. It looks like WWE does not know how to book Shayna Baszler anymore. Well, not like they knew how to book her.
Right. I watched the Highway Star. I've watched more Impact than Raw this year. That's saying something.
Yeah, I watch more AEW than the main roster now. I usually just watch the AEW and NXT, and I just scroll online to see what's going on Raw and SmackDown, but I can't really sit through 3 hours and 2 hours of that right now. I can't.
DJ Chronobat, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you coming in and watching with us. We are going ahead and ranting and raving about the WWE right now. We cannot fathom how low it's sunk at the moment. It is something of it's an amazing spectacular. It's like watching a ship sink. It's like watching a train wreck. It's everything you want to watch and not watch at the same time, because you know that there's lives on the line. It's
they can't write good TV.
Yeah,
they can't write good storylines.
Well, and here's the thing: it's WWE, Martin. It is WWE. We know WWE has the potential to do so well with such a good roster. They can write good stories, but I feel like they
look at NXT, for example.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Take one look at NXT. NXT has been some of the most entertaining wrestling and stories that WWE has been putting out. What would you say, Martin? At least the last 2 years?
Yeah, but really the only really interesting thing right now that's really holding up the WWE main roster is really just Roman Reigns.
Everyone's really excited about what's going on with Roman Reigns.
That's like
now, DJ. We did that once. It wasn't good. Don't even get us started for Brawl for All.
Oh no. But yeah, the only real thing it's keeping the company that main roster interesting really is Roman Reigns.
Pardon me, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know why my house phone is going off at the moment. No one calls me. No one except for work, and the work shouldn't be calling me.
It may be Bobby Lashley, but maybe Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, there's only a select number of storylines that are exciting, and right now it's Roman Reigns. Quiet. I'm so sorry about that. I apologize to everyone who has a house phone. Hey, DJ. I've got a house phone. I work on call, and my cell phone does not work very well in my apartment. That's why. But, yeah, I mean, look at this. The Highway Star, acknowledge the Tribal Chief. This is a guy that absolutely agrees with us that Raw is just about unwatchable, you know. And when it comes down to it, it's still you still have your moments and your storyboards that you are willing to watch and willing to get behind and things like that. And Roman Reigns is single-handedly holding it up right now. Single-handedly.
Yep, he's been doing really good. And he's been doing really good ever since he turned heel. It's been one of the best storylines that WWE has written in years.
I mean, and here's the thing. Remember when they were pushing Roman Reigns to the point where the people were turning against him? And they never jumped on it then, but they jumped on it now, and it's working. It's absolutely working.
Just wait till Brock Lesnar comes back.
No, please don't say that. I don't want Brock Lesnar back.
Yeah,
Martin, but don't curse us.
Yeah, just wait till he comes back, and then you're gonna get Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman with Paul Heyman trying to separate those two because he won't want to pick a side.
See, and that's the only interesting thing about that. I don't love Brock Lesnar as a wrestler. Look, the guy is a phenomenal athlete. The guy is fantastic. Let's not deny that. I will not deny Brock Lesnar's athletic ability, his wrestling ability. I just don't find his matches entertaining. And that's my own preference. I know there's a lot of fans of Brock Lesnar. He's not my cup of tea. And, that's just what it comes down to. But when it comes down to a story with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman in the middle, that I can get behind because Paul Heyman would make that so entertaining. Can you just imagine the look of terror on Paul Heyman's face if Brock Lesnar comes in and he's just Paul Heyman does it so well when it comes down to it.
And to me, I think if Brock Lesnar comes back and he has a few more Reigns, that's the time you turn a babyface there. Because before Brock Lesnar went to the NFL and went to the UFC, he proved that he can play unbelievable babyface. When it was like 2003, 2002, he's best at heel, but he can really play a convincing babyface.
The problem with that, Martin, I don't think he can play babyface right now or anymore because they've made him so dominant. You can't have a super dominant babyface. A babyface has to have, that uphill battle. And they tried it with John Cena, and I got bored of John Cena. You get bored with something that dominant.
And the one way I think of maybe doing Brock Lesnar face is betrayal because he feels betrayed by Paul Heyman. Like, what are you doing? I feuded with Roman Reigns over the WWE Championship, and now you're with him? Like, what? Like, what is this?
I mean, I can see it. I can see it. I can't. It just doesn't click for me, But again, I've never been a Brock Lesnar guy, so maybe that's just me. To keep the ball rolling, because as I said, we got a lot of stuff to cover. We've got a ton of stuff to cover. To keep the ball rolling, once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. I am Jay Dare. That's Martin Lee, smartest man in the room. Eventually, we're hoping to have Craith and Jake join us. If they do, awesome. If they don't, well, it's my show anyways. Who does it matter? But we enjoy the fact that you guys are all commenting and giving us your thoughts on wrestling. Don't forget to follow us: Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, the TikTok. We're everywhere. Don't forget to give us a like, give us a follow, share this with your wrestling friends, and don't forget that we cover all genres of sports. And if you want to check out some of that stuff, our articles are on GameChangerSportsNetwork.com. So hop over there and give us some of our articles a look-see. You'll even see every once in a while Martin and I write articles. We're not just pretty faces on your screen, right?
Nope.
But nope. Although no.
Oh no.
Although that reminds me. I was going to go ahead and open with a tagline, and Jake's whole thing is that we are sports fans for sports fans, and I was like, that's awesome. Game Changer Sports Network, by fans, for fans, only fans. And I was like, no, that's not the line I want to use. As entertaining as it might be.
Yeah, no.
No. Look, if we do something like that, all it's going to be is me trying sports fan diets or something like that. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. Just me trying different buffalo wings. We're getting off topic, Martin. You got to keep me on topic, Martin. You got to reel me in every once in a while. But once again, thank you all for joining us. Let's go ahead and much love to you, DJ. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and talk about another rumor that popped up about the WWE. And this one is not just the WWE, but my favorite promotion, of course, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Talks of WWE and their president, Nick Khan, trying to get an exclusive partnership with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, this is a rumor that popped up, and it kind of disappeared just as quickly as it came. It was something discussed on Twitter for maybe 2 days? But it was a shaking up. It was 2 days that kind of shook up the wrestling world. Nothing has come of it, but Martin, what do you think about this? Because I was going to go ahead and go on a huge rant about possibilities and of what this could be, but I want to get your thoughts on it first.
All right. So first off, if AEW did not have partnerships with NWA, Impact, New Japan Pro Wrestling, do you think these rumors will be happening right now?
No, not at all. This is definitely the fact that it's an exclusive partnership has to be done in retaliation to AEW working with Impact and NWA and even New Japan.
Yeah, because if those never happened, then you just ignore it. And I'm not surprised by that at all. But now, there's a good side and a bad side. I can see it's going really well or going really bad. Now, I'm going to go to the good side first. So...
yeah, please do.
So the
we all love good news.
First, the amount of potential matches that we can get from this partnership would be amazing. Just think of it. John Cena versus Kazuchika Okada. Seth Rollins in the G1 Climax. Seth Rollins in the G1. AJ
Seth
Styles,
Rollins in the G1.
AJ Styles and Finn Balor returning to New Japan with all the history they have there. And really, like, I actually like this because sometimes you have these guys that can't do anything on the WWE. And so they don't have anything really to do. What can you do with them? Well, if this partnership goes through, you can send them to Japan, and where they can put on bangers of a match. Take a guy like Cesaro. He would be outstanding in New Japan. Think of a guy like...
outstanding.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in the roster.
Even before they released him.
A lot of people can really use that. And it would put eyes on New Japan and WWE. But now onto the bad side. As we all know, WWE does not have a great track record of working with Japanese wrestlers. Like, they don't really have a good track record. And to me, if this goes down, this has to be because of Triple H. Triple H has to be involved. Paul Heyman has to be involved. Most of the guys. But keep Vince McMahon away from this. I'm telling you right now, if Vince McMahon has his paws on this, I can see this going very, very wrong. Because with Vince McMahon, a guy that's sometimes petty, and what he really wanted to put over wrestlers from another promotion, where they really want to put them over, I'm not sure if he would, because that's how he is. He wants his guys to go over 100%. That's why that's my biggest concern with this partnership, is that it's all going to be just one-sided. That's my biggest problem.
Right. Vince McMahon will get dirty little fingers in. Well, Martin, I appreciate your outlook on it. If you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and rant a little bit about the potentials of what what could be with something like this. As you said, it could be a banger of top stars going back and forth and having some fantastic matches, and eyes are on both companies, and we're all happy. But when it comes down to it, what do we really think that this would be? Now, I did some research, and what it looks like is WWE said that they would send top talent to New Japan to, to do some shows and everything in exchange for an exclusive partnership. Now, when they said top talent, they weren't talking about the main roster. They were talking about NXT. Now, look, that's perfectly fine by me. Go ahead and send some of those absolute bangers that are in NXT over to New Japan. I will take them in the best of the Super Juniors. I will take them in my G1, and I will take them in my New Japan Cup matches. I would love to see some of that integrated in there. And, some of them are going to get, pretty far. Japan's not going to bury them. They very rarely bury people. So I would love to see it. But when it comes down to it, what is an exclusive partnership for New Japan to WWE? Because WWE didn't say, well, we want your guys coming over here. They didn't say that. They just said that we want an exclusive partnership. So does that cut down to the point where maybe the only place for young lions to go on an American excursion is to WWE? Mind you, I would love that. Yuya Uemura, if I butchered the name, but seeing Yuya maybe competing on 205 Live or NXT as he starts building a character, and then WWE, being the smart business people they are like, hey, we know you're here on excursion, but look at all this money we can throw at you. And being absolute villains in this case, they could try to get more guys to come over that way. But what does that mean, the exclusive partnership? Is that just cutting them off from helping out work with AEW and Impact and NWA? Does that really help New Japan expand its borders? I don't think so. I personally do not think so, and I don't see it being any benefit to New Japan. In fact, all I would see it doing is WWE getting some of its NXT guys eyes over on Japan, which, tangent, WWE has been trying to work on an NXT Japan expansion. They've tried to buy out Stardom, Pro Wrestling Noah, Big Japan Pro Wrestling, and even Dragon Gate, some big names. So when it comes down to it, is WWE just trying to get a foothold in Japan? What's going on here? And when it comes down to it, I don't think that New Japan will go for it. That fan, Martin. When it comes down to it, I don't see New Japan taking this deal. Apparently, there have been talks between WWE and New Japan, with WWE regularly contacting New Japan, with no deals being made. And when it comes down to it, this sounds like WWE just trying to get more eyes on its product, its wrestlers, and I don't think New Japan would go for it. When it comes down to push comes to shove, it does not sound like it's going to be something that's going to be as epic as we think it is, like opening up the forbidden door.
Yeah,
so that's my little plan.
And to me, I'm thinking that this deal might be a way for WWE to convince Daniel Bryan to come back, because as you know, Daniel Bryan's not on the contract with WWE right now. He's not. And he has said over the years that he would love to compete in Japan. And
absolutely.
And it's weird that right after like maybe a month and a half after Daniel Bryan said he's leaving, that these rumors come up again. So maybe this is just a way they really try to compromise Daniel Bryan and New Japan.
It's very possible. I hear Daniel Bryan was actually the one that got these talks started. So, I mean, Could it just be a big ruse to try to get Daniel Bryan back in? Sure. Daniel Bryan, when it comes down to it, would be an absolute phenomenon over in Japan. Excuse me, as I almost die of my own saliva. Thank you. I was a pro wrestler once, folks, and I almost died to my saliva. So when it comes down to it, no, I mean, I would love to see something like this. I would not, of course, want exclusive partnership. I think wrestlers should be able to go and be borrowed by other companies and things like that, as long as it benefits everyone. I would love to see stuff like that, trying to prove you're the best, and I'm willing to travel wherever I have to prove that I'm the best. So I don't see it happening. I do not see it happening when it comes down to it. So as much as we all might love it, this rumor, I think, is going to be quashed, and it feels like it has been. Even Tony Khan made a promo, did like some promo on it saying, there's only one Khan in the business, Nick, and that's me, and I've had more New Japan stars on my show in the last 3 months than you have. I mean, okay. I mean, mind you, it wasn't a great promo, but hey, he makes a point. He makes a point. All right. I'm done ranting for now. You'll get bigger rants from me a little bit later. What else is going on in the WWE though, Martin? We've got another hour and a half to go, and we're still not done just covering WWE. Can you believe that?
Not really, but something just popped in my head. So
please
I've
take
heard
it.
A couple weeks, like a few days ago, that there were talks that a WWE draft could be happening soon. In August or September.
We have to go through another draft.
If
Martin, why?
If this guy
must you hurt my brain?
If this guy that reported is correct, which he has reported things correct before, he has reported that NXT is moving to Tuesdays. He reported that, so he has a good track record. So this might be true.
Martin, I only took 3 Tylenols before the show. I might have to go grab my 4th because another draft that wastes so much TV time for nothing. I mean, we talked about the last draft, right? Where Retribution could have been all over that draft, and that would have made a heck of a story. They waste the draft every single time. It's horrific. I hate watching it.
Really, before a couple of years ago, like, the draft has been pretty good before a couple of years ago. For like 2, 3 years, 4 years ago. Before that, the draft has been really good. Because I've always looked forward to the draft. Because it's really interesting to watch. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, because of Retribution and having them go into one separate brand, yeah, then you find out, then you know how that works out, and they're no longer together.
Yeah, no, I'm not excited about a draft, especially after last year's. The Highway Star, yes, we are. That'll be a little bit later on in the show, but that is definitely on our agenda. I have a whole cheat sheet of what we're going to be going over. We are still just trying to get to the WWE news right now, which just continues going on and on. But Craith, of course, threatening us, saying that he disagrees with me about the draft. I mean, and I can understand, but think about last year on the draft where some things were rushed. Retribution could have been a storyboard. And then the tag team titles, come on. I mean, it made sense, but it was just like, really? I thought the champions were supposed to be just about untouchable. You know? It was lazy. It was lazy. And I mean, and all they did was switch storylines to a different show. I mean,
and unfortunately, that draft was also the New Day, which was kind of sad because ever since they formed together before they broke off, they were always a one brand. But since that draft, it hasn't been their way.
I hear you. So there is a potential that we might be joined later on today by some of our fellow show hosts. I mean, I don't think we have guests anymore, Martin. I think we're all hosts at this point. But you know, when they come on, they just got to give a thumbs up, and then I'll know to add them. So when it comes down to it, I didn't like last year's draft. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, I'm talking about it. Mr. Adam Craith, how we doing, brother man?
Good evening, everybody. Jay, I see that in Jake's absence, you've decided to be wrong tonight instead. Okay. So no, go on. What about the draft? I can't believe what I heard. I can't believe I was watching the show. I was being a fan at home, and I heard blasphemy. That. You're supposed to be the smart one on the show, Jay.
No, I'm not.
You don't think we need a draft right? Well, you're right. But Martin knows better because Martin agrees with me. But come on.
Yeah, I'm just the pretty one.
So you don't want the draft?
You're a little insulted by that one.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Listen, we got plenty to be mad about tonight. Can't waste time on that one. You don't like the draft? Listen, we need a draft now more than ever. SmackDown got gutted. It's absolutely awful. Almost everyone that got released was on SmackDown. They need a whole new division. And also, they need to solve their Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns problem, and probably their Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre problem. And it seems like the only way WWE can avoid rematches is just to put people on separate brands. So, yeah, we need it. We need it bad, and I'm here for it.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I'm not saying that it's not needed. I'm not saying it's not needed. I think it wastes a whole bunch of airtime on something that they usually end up releasing half on Twitter anyways.
They're not filling their airtime very well now. At least the draft's exciting. You can get surprised. I'm not surprised. I haven't been surprised by Raw in months. I'll take a draft.
You're not surprised by Shayna Baszler feuding with a doll?
The only way I can not be really upset about this is trying to remember that Shayna Baszler is a horror fan, but I don't know if she's cringe horror fan. Maybe she's having fun.
She's putting up the blinders.
I hope she's having
blinders.
Fun. Yeah.
All right. Well, Craith, I do recall you were saying earlier today that I've got to reserve a section of time for you to complain about a release from WWE, and you know, I'm going to give you that time if you would like it. Heather, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to take.
We just had Craith join us. We're getting through our WWE news here, but Craith, if you want to go ahead, because now that you're just joining us at the 45-minute mark, if you want to go ahead and get your anger out about what happened with those releases, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. So, if the audience recalls, a couple weeks ago, I went on a little mini rant about Aleister Black on his current treatment on the WWE, doing absolutely nothing for the man, and then they release him, you know? So I'm going to start off slow. So, they just brought him back. He just had promos. They wasted airtime hyping him back. And then for what? Nothing. I've said over and over and over again for years, to my real-life friends too, that if WWE releases Aleister Black after the garbage they put him through, I'm quitting WWE. And you know what? I canceled my subscription, my Peacock subscription, because network's the only reason I had in the first place, the second Aleister Black was released. I am not consuming any more WWE product because they've shown us over and over and over again that it is pointless to invest in any character because they won't do anything with them if they don't like them. So, no, I'm done. I'm going to use that money to get a VPN, and I'm going to get the Fight Pass, and I'm going to watch AEW all the time now. I'm done with WWE. Forever. Not forever. But for now. I only read the results because I have to be on the show. But actually give them the money? No. Nope. None of it. That doesn't give them money. I don't do the results on them.
I only read the results because I have to be on this show. That's right. We go ahead. We tie you down. We tell you, you better be here. We're coming to your place.
I mixed up my words in anger. I have that wasn't even a super kick. Yeah, you know what I mean. But no, I'm done. And obviously with Raw, I made a good choice because it's not worth anything anymore.
Heather wants to know who's your favorite WWE wrestler.
I don't know, but
they
keep releasing them. I don't understand.
Martin, you've got all the fans. What's going on here?
I'm not sure.
The only
I'm not sure. He says
favorite I have left in WWE is Finn Balor. And what is he doing? I don't know because I'm terrified. Goes to the main roster and that whole thing over again. I can't do it. I can't take the heartbreak anymore. I'm sorry, Finn. I can't. I'm done.
I look, when it comes down to it, I can't blame you. I really can't blame you. So yeah, you know, WWE has been hot garbage. As I said earlier, I've got a friend, Tyler Burton, Shadow Outsider, who followed us earlier today on Twitch, which once again, thank you so much, brother. He went on a rant on me today saying he has quit WWE himself. He can't believe what's going on with it. And look at the numbers. I mean, I think Martin brought it up. I think last week SmackDown, for like the first time, maybe for the first time, beat Raw in ratings. The flagship Raw.
Because it's awful.
It's sinking. So, I mean, WWE has to be hitting the panic button here, right? Like, I would have to assume that they've got to be seeing something is going wrong.
But Jay, the problem is the panic button is Brock Lesnar. That doesn't help.
It's true. It's true. How about female wrestler? They want to know. Heather would like to know which female wrestlers we are rooting for and who we like.
Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley all the way. Just not current Rhea Ripley.
All right.
Bianca.
I got to go with Alexa Bliss.
She's gonna be really nice in Hollywood one day. That's all I got.
Yeah, no, I think Alexa Bliss has a bit of the whole package when it comes down to it. She can wrestle. She's able to get into so many different characters, and she does it so well. So that's got to be my pick. All right, now that have we cooled off a little bit? I mean, I haven't. My ice pack is officially warm now, and now when it comes down to it, guys, I think we got one more thing about the WWE to cover before we can finally move on to greener pastures. And that is, technically, I think we got a pay-per-view coming up this weekend.
Do we?
Martin, please fill us in. Because Craith and I both.
Oh, it's TakeOver?
It's just TakeOver?
Doesn't count.
Do we have
nobody pay-per-views TakeOver?
Nobody pay-per-views TakeOver. Do we have any idea what's going on with that? Like, is there any matches that I can at least try to look forward to, Martin? Is there any glimmer of hope? Is there a light at the end of the tunnel?
I got Karrion Kross versus Kyle O'Reilly versus Pete Dunne versus Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole. Now that match is going to be very interesting. Then you got LA Knight.
Right.
You got LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes. And it's a ladder match. But a certain title came back last night in NXT.
A certain title?
Yep.
What are you talking about, Martin? Don't tease me. Don't tease me, Martin.
The $1 Million Championship.
Okay, thank you. That's all I needed to hear.
Oh my God.
Ah!
We probably should have told him DiBiase was involved in the angle before he did that.
DiBiase too? Yeah, he's involved in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so over the past few weeks, Ted DiBiase, Cameron Grimes, and LA Knight have been in the feud, and Cameron Grimes and LA Knight has been trying to get Ted DiBiase to endorse them as the manager. And last night, he announced that those two could be in a ladder match for the winner is gonna be the new $1 million champion.
Yay! Who do you got, Martin?
So-
Who do you
so
think's taking home the
excited.
belt?
That one, it's tough to say, but it's 50-50 for me. I could see either one winning, but I think I gotta go with Cameron Grimes.
So I know nothing about this feud, but I want to make a prediction that at the very end of the match, Ted DiBiase comes in the ring, pushes both competitors off the ladder, climbs it for himself, grabs the title, laughs maniacally. We cut to black. It never happened.
Oh no!
Yeah.
And then you got
playing.
then you got
Black.
then you got
Okay,
Raquel.
you know what?
Then you have Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon for the NXT Women's Championship, which should be a good match. Then you got Bronson
All right.
Reed,
I can give
and MSK versus Legado del Fantasma in a 6-person tag match for the NXT North American Championship and the NXT Tag Team Championship. So both titles are going to be on the line. And to me, I'm really hoping that Legado Fantasma wins. And yes, I know MSK has just won the title a few weeks ago. Same with Bronson Reed, but to me, I think Legado del Fantasma, they need those 2 titles because they would be amazing as champions. And MSK is a great tag team, I agree. Yeah. Me, Bronson Reed, I don't get the hype on him.
NXT sounds very mid-card right now.
It does, unfortunately, but we got the Highway Star as a guy who would put the $1 million belt on his creator wrestlers. I love the $1 million title. The fact that the $1 million title is back,
Which is fair, but it's always like a gag.
it's a nothing belt.
Yeah.
It's a nothing belt. This is it's the king of the ring. It's the king of the ring.
Now,
No one cares.
Now,
No one cares.
now I want Cameron
No one
Grimes
cares.
to lose. Listen, Jay. No, I want Cameron Grimes to lose the ladder match, win the 24/7 title, bedazzle it, and call it the $100,000 championship. That's what I want out of this storyline.
Oh no!
Why must you guys break me? I host a humble show. I do my best to go ahead and make sure that we can be on and talk about the latest wrestling news, and you guys just try to break me.
Well, it's not all for that WWE product is garbage.
You know what, Mark? I can't even argue.
It's not our fault.
When it's this bad, you have to at least go for comedy, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's true. That's true. I mean, if you might as well laugh as the whole building burns around you, or make s'mores, one of the two. Anywho, so let me pull up my cheat sheet again. I think we've finally covered everything WWE that we could cover, as far as the news that I had up. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to the next bit, we want to thank you once again for joining us. This is a special episode of the Ringside Roundup. We are going for 2 hours, so you got us for another 65 minutes. Sorry, but you've got us for another little bit of time. We are going to go ahead and cover all the wrestling news that we have missed over the last 2 weeks. So thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, follow, and share this with your wrestling buddies or just your sports buddies, because we cover all sorts of sports here on the Game Changer Sports Network. And if you happen to like this face or that face, let me get the angles right, or that face, I'm Jay Dare. That's Craith from Craith TV. We both have our own Twitch channels. If you happen to like us, go ahead. There's links in the description. And don't forget to, of course, check out the Game Changer Sports Network website, which is, of course, just GameChangerSportsNetwork.com, with articles about the latest sports news.
We got to get you like a commercial for that, Jay.
Yes, absolutely. So I don't have to do it and waste my breath each time. Not wasting my breath, because we all love the Game Changer Sports Network, and we want it to be very successful, because I want to quit my job on the railroad. So help us out. Going to AEW now. Let's switch gears to some good wrestling, shall we?
Yeah,
Can we switch gears to something exciting?
Cowboy shit. What?
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 So I don't have a whole lot for AEW because I worked 222 hours last month. I've already worked over 60 hours this month. I've been home for maybe 40 hours in total this month. So please, guys, you got to get me caught up. What happened at Double or Nothing? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it worth watching?
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Awesome. Then that's it. Just yes. Next subject. Now what? So I happen to have the results up right here because I am decent at my job. Wink. So let's go through what happened over at Double or Nothing because I hear that it was pretty good from more sources than just the two of you. So let's start off with the pre-show with the NWA Women's title on the line. I feel left out. Hold on a sec. There we go. So, oh my God, these are so dusty. So we had what are these names that I'm looking at? I apologize. I haven't gotten to really take a look at AEW in a while. Do we have anyone that actually knows what's going on?
Soria D versus Riho.
Yes, Deeb versus Riho. So for the NWA Women's title, which happened pre-show, with Deeb winning it. So is this good news? Is this bad news? I mean, what's going on with NWA anyways? I haven't been able to keep up. As I said, I'm a busy boy.
Well, Deeb won, yes, but she's no longer the NWA champion anymore. Because she just dropped her title this past weekend. So yeah,
wow. That was
but to me, I didn't really watch the match, but from what I've heard, it was a pretty good match from what I've heard.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, I mean, we've been talking about how we need to have good women's wrestling on AEW because it has been subpar. The roster has been a little subpar. So does this help out with AEW on the pre-show? Or is this just a way to put on NWA stuff?
Yeah. I gotta say it doesn't really help. Like, good job, you had 2 women matches this time on your pay-per-view, but stop using NWA so much. Develop your own talent. Unless there's some kind of, deal work in there, because nobody thought Dee was gonna drop her title on a different promotion's pay-per-view. Like, it's not gonna happen. So every time she has a match, it's like we always know it's a showcase going into it, which is neat. But if it's gonna be a showcase match, showcase your own talent.
Right. And I agree with you. Here, let me update our banner so we look pretty cool and official. All right. After that, we had a pretty unimportant match. No one actually cared about it. Followed by.
Yeah. Huh?
Go ahead.
Hey, Hangman Page is over. I don't know if you guys heard the crowd for them, but he is so over. Jake, you are eating your words right now. If you guys don't know, me and Jake had a bet a couple months ago where we both picked a AEW up-and-comer to be our next world champion. Whoever picked the correct person to win the AEW title first got to keep their hair. I said Hangman Page was going to be world champion before Jake's pick of Darby Allin. Right? It's obvious, but this pay-per-view showed that Hangman Page is over, and he's coming for Kenny, and it's going to be amazing. I don't know what's going to be better, Jake shaving his hair or the match between Page and Omega. I really don't know what I'm looking forward to more, but I'm super excited.
Tell you right now, that match has all the makings of being the main event of All Out right there. They got a couple months to build up Page. I think they can do it, but yeah, that crowd reaction for Adam Page, that was insane. I mean, the fans are really important for Adam Page. The match stuff was decent, but the important thing is Adam Page won. He he proved that the crowd still has his back, and he's one of the most over people in the company. So yeah, so I see a lot of bright things for Adam Page.
Yeah.
Whoa. First off,
Cowboy shit
no,
is
first
over.
off, it's not my hair.
Oh, yeah,
Highway
not Jay's
Star.
hair.
It's Jake's.
He would
Jake,
never.
he's the owner of GCSN. He's the fourth man that's usually on the show. Not here tonight, and we're doing pretty well, ain't we? No, I would not put this on the line for quite. There'd have to be hefty financial and safety to my bet. Although I did write a pretty decent article saying that Jay White could be a really good person to become AEW World Champ, maybe before Hangman Page. I could see it. But I would not bet my hair on it because that's a long shot. You know, I put $1 on it for $1 million return. You know, that's that kind of long shot. But no, this hair, not happening. That's how you guys know who I am on the show. This is my identity.
That's fair.
Besides that, I'm just a talking head. But no, I absolutely agree, though. Adam Page needs the crowd for people to really understand how over he is. Is he a phenomenal wrestler? I'd say he's a really, really good wrestler.
He's a good wrestler that needs the crowd.
He very much benefits from the crowd, but I wouldn't say he needs it. But with it, he flourishes. I mean, the guy has the look, he has the physical charisma, the factor, and his finisher is super poppable. Like, who doesn't pop for a buckshot lariat? It's just, I don't know, it gets me every time.
It does. It's one of those moves. To me, it's like the Rainmaker, where when he hits it, it's just yes, bam, that's it. So I can 100% agree with you. And when it comes down to it, I'm gonna have to lean your side on this bet. And I always have. But it's a match I'd want to actually watch. It's a match that I would want to watch.
I really want to go as far to say that Page versus Omega is going to be better than Omega versus Okada. Any of them. Take your pick.
I will bet hair on that.
I'm not a fan of 60-minute matches, though. Also, I tried that match is not great.
I mean,
sorry guys.
That's all right. You know, different styles of pro wrestling. So
it was better than the other Iron Man match. You know, I couldn't get through that one. Brett versus Shawn, I couldn't do it. It was awful.
Wow, you hate all the classics, huh?
No, that match was just slow and plodding, and yeah, maybe I am because like Undertaker versus Jeff Hardy in a ladder match on Raw was better than Shawn versus Brett. Sorry,
that's done in the town I live in. That was over in Manchester, New Hampshire. Please don't try to dox me the rest of the way, people. I've already done a good majority of it. Let's continue on with AEW Double or Nothing, though, shall we? We've got the Young Bucks defending the AEW tag titles against Moxley and Eddie Kingston. What did we think about this match, guys? Was this just a slapdash match, or you know?
I thought it was a pretty good match. Both teams worked really well, and for a couple seconds in the match, for a couple spots, I thought the Young Bucks were actually going to lose that title. And to me, that would not surprise me because Moxley and Kingston are over with the crowd, and the Young Bucks have held the titles for several months, so it would not surprise me if they dropped it. But they did drop it. And to me, the Young Bucks prove why they are a really good tag team, and I can see them holding those titles for a little while longer.
That's one way to look at it, yeah.
Yeah. Any extra you want to throw in there?
Yeah. If I'm going to call WWE out for this, I got to call AEW out for this too. Repetitive stuff is just awful. I feel like every Bucks match has just run-ins and run-ins and run-ins and interference, and then the Bucks always get away with it. And I just don't understand. The referee just saw 3 people run out, and he didn't think anything was up.
That was the biggest thing that I have a problem with. The ref for that match was awful.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
So I see. Yeah, go ahead, Martin. Sorry.
There are several times in that match where the ref should have been paying attention, but he didn't know how to pay attention. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? There's no wonder why Aubrey Edwards is the best ref on that roster.
And I see a lot of talk online about how, they're going to do the referee in their pocket storyline. And maybe that's playing out on BTE. If you watch BTE, fill us in, because I don't think you guys do, right?
Yeah, I watch it. Nope.
You do? So it's not happening. Nope. So even that angle really wouldn't save this, because why are the vice presidents of a company using a crooked referee while the it just doesn't make sense, man. Like, Tony Khan's a babyface. He obviously would know something's going on. Like, also, Tony Khan could have just stopped all that bullshit anyway. Like, hey, you just had 4 interferences, rematch. But the Bucks just are in their own little bubble. Tag team rules don't matter. And I didn't like it. I don't really like their style of wrestling anyway. But that was a clusterfuck, and it was bad. Inconsistencies in wrestling bother me more than bad wrestling. Like, inconsistencies are worse than a poor match.
Yeah, you've always been a fan of consistencies.
You need, because that's all wrestling is a long evolving story. And if your long evolving story doesn't have consistency, then it's not a long evolving story. It's episodic, and then there's no point.
What's funny is that Cutler literally shouted, "I'm sorry, Pac," on Dynamite, and the ref was clueless. No, I mean, look. As hopefully, Jake, if you're watching, a shirt will say soon, Vision's not included when it comes to referee packages, benefits packages. It's just not. Jake, get that shirt out. And, so it applies even to our fake sports.
But the thing is, they have good referees.
It doesn't matter.
But they have good referees, and they're letting, the obviously worst referee keep refereeing championship matches. Like, you can't sell me that Tony Khan's not in the back watching his show. He doesn't see this referee messing up and go, maybe he should go to dark. No, that's
He's ripping his hair out. Hey, look, no, not every ref can be Red Shoes Amino.
No,
they're not all going to be great.
That ref has an Ironside contract. I'm sure of it.
Oh, I don't doubt it. He's every main event. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So let's continue on. We have the Casino Battle Royale. I was talking about Red Shoes.
Oh.
Okay, but yeah, I was talking about Red Shoes when it came to my referee. You go ahead and talk about your referee, when you want to. But we were talking about Red Shoes.
Red Shoes.
The conversation evolved. It moved on. Hey, the thing I like about good radio and stream shows is consistency, Craith. I like consistency.
I was doing a callback, but listen, what about the Casino Battle Royale? I liked it. Did you, Martin?
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, to me, I had Christian Cage winning, but having Jungle Boy win, I'm down for that, because they're pushing him.
Very talented wrestler.
They're pushing to be one of the top babyfaces for several years. The match was not bad. It was a pretty fun, entertaining match full of a couple surprises, like Leo Rush with an AEW. I did not see that coming. I was expecting someone like Andrade, or maybe a Nick Gage, or maybe a Brian Danielson. One of those guys maybe debuting. But no, it was Leo Rush. So that was quite a surprise. I did not expect that at all.
Very true. Leo Rush being the Joker in that match. I think a lot of people did expect someone else. And of course, hindsight, we all wish it wasn't Leo Rush now. But I believe it was Jungle Boy. Martin, you called Christian Cage, and he was the last one eliminated. So I mean, you were pretty close. I think you get like half points for that, right?
Yeah, I thought Christian was winning until I saw him and Jungle Boy. I was like, all right, I think Jungle Boy is winning this one.
Just a frozen moment of, oh no. Now, of course, talking about the Casino Battle Royale, and of course Lio Rush's part in that match. Lio Rush did end up suffering I believe an AC shoulder injury, if I recall correctly, and that injury looks like has forced him to retire from pro wrestling. So that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's heartbreaking.
And let's get this out of the way now. Let's get it out of the way. This is not like his other times he's retired. This is definitely not. Because he mentioned his family about how it's hard to pick up his newborn son, and he has to be there for his family. So for whoever is saying that this is like he's a complainer and he's just because he's complaining he's gonna hang and just stop. He has to be there for his family. He's only like in his mid-20s, and he has this entire family to look forward to. So get off his back. He has a safe family to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean he has a promising music career. Yeah, he's a rapper, right? So he has something to fall back on.
Absolutely, and when it comes down to it, you can't take injuries lightly. No matter what. Some people are like, oh, well, someone got this neck injury and he's, all sorts of things. It doesn't matter. You don't want to go, have a long life with a permanent injury holding you back from anything. So, Lio Rush, we here at Game Changer Sports, we hope the best for your future endeavors, and we wish you the best of luck. So,
and one other thing, Jay, before we move on, one other thing.
Can I?
Oh, yeah.
Can I mention the comments real quick?
Yeah, go.
Gotta go, guys. Love the stream. Keep it easy. Thank you so much, Highway Star. Thank you for joining us. And then, really quick, Heather Young, who do you have a contender to be the World Wrestler Champion? I would assume that's for AEW.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Adam Page.
Adam Page.
Adam Page.
I think
you know what? I'm gonna go against all of you, and I'm gonna say Lance Archer.
Yeah, I think Adam Page is the one that's gonna beat Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Lance Archer would beat Kenny Omega, but I got to go with Lance Archer because if my daughters are watching this, it's their favorite wrestler, so I'm doing it for you. But Craith, you were about to go on a wild tangent, no doubt.
Oh yeah, Lio Rush. No, not a wild tangent. I just want to say that people are allowed to change their mind. Even if in 5 years or 10 years or whenever, if he decided he wanted to come back to wrestling, that should be celebrated. Not like everyone on the internet. Oh, he went back on his word. So what? So what? If he wants to do it, let him do it. Same thing. Almost the same thing with Kylie Ray. If she thinks she's in a good place now, if she thinks she can wrestle, then let her go back to wrestle. It's people are allowed to change their mind.
Speaking of Kylie Ray, she's back.
Back again. Kylie's back.
And it's
Heather, thank you so much for joining. Enjoy the broadcast.
But yeah, Kylie Ray, she's back. She's back at she's at NWA now, and from what I saw, she did pretty good in a return match that she won.
And maybe NWA is just a better fit for her. Smaller audience, maybe not as much pressure. It's just more comfortable than ease her back into wrestling. Are you all right, Jay?
I just had I don't know if you guys lagged, and then suddenly all the audio came back in one big, just demonic sounding scratchy thing. But it scared me. Something fierce. Woo!
Oh, dude.
This is why I don't watch Bray Wyatt matches. They scare me. I'm easily scareable.
That's why I don't watch Nick Gage matches.
In the middle of the woods. All right. So, why? Let's continue, shall we? AEW, Double or Nothing. Rhodes defeats Ogogo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I have a problem with that.
So,
I have
I
a
know.
problem with that.
Does everyone have a problem with this?
Yeah, it sucked.
I
Yes,
apologize.
I
I'm
do.
getting very.
All right,
You
Craith,
got,
go
all right,
ahead.
I believe you guys. Give me a second. I will be right back. You guys go ahead and rip this match a new one for me because I don't like Rhodes matches either. So please, the floor is yours, Jeff.
You want to go first, Martin? Rock, paper, scissors for it.
All right, so to me, Anthony Ogogo, Cody Rhodes is a good match on paper, but to me, Anthony Ogogo needed to win this match. AEW had a dominating monster heel in Ogogo, and they needed to push him as a dominating monster heel. And the perfect way to do that is to beat Cody Rhodes on a pay-per-view. But nope, they have Cody Rhodes winning. I just don't really like it. Because to me, what does Cody have to gain from winning? What does he gain? Like, absolutely, he gains absolutely nothing from winning. Like, maybe the cheap pop, like America, yeah.
Well, that's it. That's
July
all he wanted.
4th, yeah, Memorial Day, American Dream. I just beat the British, or whatever.
That's 100% what it was, man. They went.
Yeah, Anthony Ogogo, he would have been skyrocketed ever since if he defeated Cody Rhodes. It would have given Anthony Ogogo some legitimacy, and it would have proved that Anthony Ogogo is a guy that you need to watch for. But to have his first match, Cody Rhodes, I'm not a big fan of it. Because it's just for cheap pop.
Yeah, it was completely the wrong decision. The only reason they did it, and you're right, it was Memorial Day. It was in the South. He's trying to get the American Dream trademark back, and it was just cheap pop after cheap pop. And, Ogogo didn't even have to go over clean. They could have had other people of the, what do they call their
Nightmare Factory?
Yeah, they could have had other Nightmare Factory people come down. Maybe one of them grabs Cody's leg, distracts him for just a second, just long enough for Ogogo to get that rib punch in. And he could have pinned him, but no. Cody, you're having a baby. You're going on vacation anyway, man. Just take the L. Go home. It's fine. Hi, Jay.
It's fine. Sorry, I'm back, guys. I got another ice pack because, as I said, it's just oppressively warm over here. So my apologies.
Same. It's hot.
But yeah, so no one likes that match at all. The finish of that match. No one likes how that match went at all.
I mean, I like that we got to see Ogogo in a longer match and utilize some more of his skills, but the finish.
Yep.
It was a no-go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the finish is just awful.
I did it, guys. It's my show now.
Oh, we're just gonna have you live with that for a second. We're just gonna have you live with that for a second. It's a no-go.
I'm clipping it. Damn.
You gotta give me a second. Because I love wordplay like that. I really do.
I broke the show twice today, guys. Woo!
I think we all broke Jay several times. Me with the WWE draft, and you with that, and several other stuff.
Oh, 100,000 championship belt.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh, welcome back.
All right, cool. You guys, I've got so much more stuff I've got to do tonight after all of this. How am I going to even have the Miro defends the TNT title against Lance Archer? Go.
Serviceable. I was whelmed.
It was a decent match. It was a decent match. It did what it had to do. Point A to point B. Miro just won the title, so you had to produce the match as a dominant champion. And that's what they did. Mm-hmm. I like it.
Lance Archer says, go ahead.
They could have protected Archer a little bit more, though. I feel like his fall from grace has been Not very rapid, but also continuous. He hasn't won a big match in a minute.
I feel, mind you, again, I'm a little biased about Lance Archer because he air fist bumped one of my daughters and has retweeted a couple of, has responded to a couple of my tweets to my daughter's absolute delight. So I'm kind of a big fan.
No, he's great.
When it comes down to it, when it comes down to it, I would love to see him utilized more. He's, he gets these title shots, and right now he feels like Sonata or Goto to me. For anyone who's a New Japan fan, just me. Okay, cool. So someone that just keeps on getting the opportunities, but never ends up being able to grab it. But it's not to a point where you're just like, darn, he's going to get it next time. You're like, well, that's just what he does. That's what he's supposed to do. He's a gatekeeper. When it comes down to it.
He's definitely in the Big Show Kane role right now.
Yeah. So everyone seems to be pretty happy with the match overall. We're not sad with it or anything. But all right, I'll take it. How about the AEW Women's Title? Shida versus Britt Baker. Okay, well, it's a good match when literally everyone just starts doing this. That's the across the wrestling world. When you mention a match and everyone just starts doing that, it's a good match. It's a good match. So tell me about this good match, boys.
It was about time that AEW put the title on Britt Baker. She is phenomenal, and she has all the tools to be the face of the AEW Women's Division. And they finally put that title on her. And me, I love it. That match is pretty good. Shida was pretty good. Baker was good. A good back and forth match. Sometimes the match I thought Shida was gonna win, but nope, Baker pulled it off, and I could not be any happier because she is the person that is gonna lead AEW. And she's going to have a lengthy title run, and I am all in for that.
Craith, you look like you disagree.
I disagree on Martin with one singular point. Britt Baker isn't going to be the face of AEW Women's Division. She's going to be the face of AEW, period. That was a star-making performance that cemented her on top. Like, she is... I'm not saying she's Becky levels yet, but... the apples to oranges, but she's getting there. She is AEW's Becky Lynch right now.
You give her a couple of years, then she'll probably do that. She'll probably get back over maybe give it 2 years, maybe.
Wow. So we're all aboard this train then, eh?
No, I don't know if they're going to push her as a face, like Jake kept saying. I really think she could be a rare top heel right now and still be a star. Just the way she interacts with Tony Khan on social media, with the way she treats her opponents. Let's be honest, a dentist who uses a curb stomp and tries to pull her opponent's teeth out, that's a heel, and it's a fantastic heel character. Don't mess with it right now. If she has to be a face, let her do the same really bad things, but just to bad people. But I still want to see this viciousness from Britt Baker, because that's what put her on top.
Absolutely,
that's what's going to keep her on top.
I mean, that's. I hate to call something that's vicious like that someone's charm, but I guess that's kind of what we're going for right now. But yeah, I think we're all on that train. I think we're all in the same one. So everybody, choo-choos in chat, please.
Choo-choo.
Yeah, we went there. I'm going to make it a thing. Continuing on, we've got Darby and Sting defeat Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Is this a surprise to anyone?
No, not really.
Did this also help Jake's conspiracy of Darby Allin being a world an AEW world title holder?
100% no.
I think it weakened his position.
No.
Nope. Because to me, that did not help his stock at all. And to me, I think that match went the wrong way. I think
It went the wrong way.
Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, I think they should have won. I think because we already know what we're going to get with Darby Allin and Sting. We already know what we're going to get with those two. But Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, those two are great wrestlers. And they've been a team for like 2-3 years now. We haven't seen a lot from them. That match wouldn't have been perfect for them to win. But I get why he did not win. It was Sting's first in-ring match in a while, in a couple of years. And they needed to push him, keep him hot. Darby Allin is one of the major faces of AEW. So, yeah, I get why they lost. I'm not happy about it, though.
Right. Now, Craith,
I think Scorpio Sky. What? I'm sorry. You lagged a little bit. I'm lagging.
All right. Sorry. I said, how did this hurt Darby Allin's stock?
I don't think it weakened Darby Allin's stock. I think it weakened Jake's position because at the onset of the bet, Jake and I had a disagreement where he thought that Sting was being paired with Darby Allin to put Darby Allin in the main event. But my prediction, which I believe is coming true, is the only reason they were paired together, besides their similar aesthetics, was just to get Sting in the ring. I hate to say it, guys, but Darby Allin might be over, but Sting is the one generating these pops. It's because the icon's out there. Sting's getting the pinfalls. Darby Allin's just kind of treading his tires because he's only a vehicle to help the veteran actually do something.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I mean, as you said, Sting is the one getting the pinfalls, as was in this match as well. So, is this really helping Darby Allin? No, not at all. I think, as you know, you're probably right. It's more of a flat line right now rather than an up or down in his stock price. So, I got to agree with you on that one.
But I will say I do think Darby Allin's going to be world champion eventually. In a year or so. Yeah, I think it'd be really cool if when this partnership ended, Sting maybe gave him a trench coat and a bat. I think that'd be neat.
I'd love to see a trench coat at the very least.
A barbed wire bat. I changed my mind. A black barbed wire bat for Darby Allin.
Changed my mind. It can't just be a bat.
Well, like Sting gives him the black bat, and Darby's like, "Yeah."
I can see that. That'd be pretty cool. Making it his own, making it unique. Then we had the AEW World Title match, which, as I said, I didn't get to watch any of these matches. But from what I've heard, it was exciting. It was, what we thought. Like, mind you, this is the end result that I thought it would be. But I heard it was a lot more exciting than a match that you should watch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this was a very good match. All three have got a pretty great performance. Pac looked great. All these guys look great. Kenny Omega looked great. And to me, several times during the match, I thought Pac was gonna. I was like, is Pac really gonna win this? But nope, Kenny won. But when Orange Cassidy had Kenny Omega in that roll up, I thought he was just about to pull the trigger on Orange Cassidy as champion, but just before he counted 3, Omega reversed the pin. And that, to me, was the best way to produce that match. That ending, that was the best way to do it because you have sympathy for Orange Cassidy. He was this close to become world champion, but he just could not get it done.
I heard that there was a really cool ending to that match. So it was a reversed roll up basically at the very, very last second.
Yep.
See, I like matches that end like that. I love matches that end like that. because they're unpredictable. They make it difficult to see something like that coming. Craig, what were your thoughts on the match?
I think this was Orange Cassidy's coming out party. If this was a test to see if he could carry the top strap one day, he passed with flying colors because just like everyone else, I was 100% sure Kenny Omega was winning that. But as the match went on, by God, OC made me a believer, man. It was just incredible. And I've always been really high on OC, but to see that come out of him, he could do it against anybody. Oh, man. And the merch he would sell being world champion, they got to do it at some point.
Yeah, I give it at least a year or two before he's champion.
When it comes down to it, it's those kind of guys that can, while a match is happening, make you believe, that really show that they've got that power, they've got that star power, and they deserve a spot like that.
And Cassidy's really young too. I think he's only in his like 20s, I believe. So he has like a lot of mileage left on him. So he'll be a champion one day.
Now that makes me sad.
None of that's a knock on Pac. Pac is also, amazing, but we knew that already. That's all.
Yes. All right, and after that we had the Stadium Stampede match. I can see we're not high on the match.
I actually really liked it.
Oh yeah. The stipulation being, of course, if Inner Circle loses, they have to disband.
It was a really fun match with a lot of spots, and to me, my favorite spot was when MJF and Jericho were fighting in the Jaguars' offices. And Urban Meyer, the Jaguars head coach, was standing there. I was like, "Oh, this is amazing!"
It is kind of nice with Easter eggs like that.
I love it. I mean, he passed Jericho his laptop, and he hit MJF over the head with it. And then when they left, Meyer was like, "Holy shit!" Yep. So yeah, that was my favorite part of the match. But yeah, the entire match was really good. All the stables did really good, and to me, the right man got the pin. Sammy Guevara, he pinned Shawn Spears, and that's the reason why the Inner Circle won. And to me, that's the right call, because you have to push Sammy Guevara to be one of your hot young faces of AEW. And to me, that's how you do it right there.
Great.
It was all right. So, no, the work rate was good. I enjoyed the match for what it was. I didn't want to see Inner Circle taking the win here. I thought it was their time. I think they could do more with a breakup and Proud and Powerful going with, after the Young Bucks and Sammy Guevara continuing on against MJF. And honestly, where do you go from here? You did Blood and Guts. You did Stadium Stampede. What's the blow off now?
That's the problem. I mean, sure, if this was the first match, if Blood and Guts ever happened, I would have picked the Pinnacle to win it. But since the Blood and Guts happened, Pinnacle took out one in the Inner Circle, I was like, yeah, the Inner Circle is definitely taking this one. To me, I think this is going to go, and they're all going to go, and Jericho's going to go after MJF, and MJF is going to take out Jericho so he can go on his tour. Then they're all going to be, and then something is going to happen. I'm not sure yet, but something is going to happen, I think.
So that gave me a giggle because I just imagine Jericho walking up to MJF and just yelling, "Single combat!" And that's the whole segment. That's it. They just go one-on-one, and whoever loses has to... But they could have done it here. I just don't know how you escalate from all these gimmick matches. How do you top these?
They're 1-for-1 on these gimmick matches.
Yeah, so you have to put one more to go.
Rubber match. We need our rubber match, and what could you possibly do?
Maybe a Survivor Series type match, but I'm not sure.
Scaffold match.
Maybe
I was about to say scaffold match.
Maybe an elimination style match, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, knowing Jericho, it's going to be like a dumpster match or something where you have to dump all 5 of the opposing team into a dumpster and lock them in it.
Yeah, something. It's going to be
silly.
Something. We know it's going to be a gimmick match when it comes down to it.
Also, inconsistency in that match that kind of bothered me. It took me out of the action a little bit. So if you didn't watch the match, Sammy Guevara was handcuffed, right? And at one point, Sean Spears takes the bolt cutters, acting like he's gonna, I don't know, stab him with it. But he puts it down to get a chair instead. So we're supposed to believe that when he throws the bolt cutters away, that later in the match, Sammy was able to retrieve the bolt cutters, free himself, and also get the actual bracelet off of his wrist somehow. Not just clip the chain, but the whole handcuff was gone. But in no circumstance how Sean Spears threw the bolt cutters would Sammy ever actually have been able to get to them to unclip himself. So it just took me out of it a little bit. I was like, yeah, I'm like, who? Like, did a ring aide just grab it and be like, here you go, bro?
Right.
I hate Ty Dillinger. Like, take these. I don't know. Like, the crooked ref from the Young Bucks match? You just, maybe. Right. That's all. That was a good match.
All in all, we're giving this a thumbs up, I assume.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Maybe they can prove us wrong. Maybe there's some new giant gimmick match that's going to blow our mind away that we've never heard of, and I'll be like, Tony Khan, you're right. I'm sorry. I'll write him an apology tweet.
And we got one more thing to talk about when it comes to AEW before we move on to the New Japan Blitz and some of the indie companies that had some exciting news. And that is a debut. Who is excited about this? Who is excited?
I was 100%. I was not expecting that. I was definitely not expecting that. So here's what happened. So Mark Henry came out to announce that he was going to be the new play-by-play person for the new AEW show that's going to be on TNT soon.
Rampage or something like that.
Yeah, Rampage, yeah. So they were talking. Vicky Guerrero comes out. I'm like, all right. She's going to announce Nana Rose or whatever. Then when she said Andrade El Idolo, I popped. Whew. I was not expecting that. Like Vicky Guerrero and Andrade. Wow. That is a great partnership right there. And to me, this is going to work out really well. Because to me, Andrade, he reminds me a little bit of Eddie Guerrero, maybe. He has that charisma. And to me, he's going to be a great addition to the AEW roster. Him and Vicky are going to be a great pairing. And to me, I give it a couple months before. It wouldn't surprise me if Andrade wins the title down the road.
Absolutely. I agree. Great talent, Craith, what's your thoughts on the Andrade debut?
Happy about the signing, not happy about how they handled it. And guys, I don't want to come off as like super negative or anything, but someone has to point out the bad stuff, right?
Absolutely. So, hey, that's why we have so many of us.
First thing I don't like when segments roll together like that. That Mark Henry was like, "Oh, she came out and interrupted me. I guess I'll just walk away now." And then he just like passed Andrade and Gorilla, and he's like, "Bro, what?" Like, no. Mark Henry could have like just yelled at Vicky and scared her shitless, and she would have stopped. But so I don't like when segments do that because I'm always wondering like, well, where'd Mark Henry go? So that's the first thing. Second thing, I think pairing him with Vicky Guerrero was a terrible idea, at least for tonight. But I think in general, it's going to be a bad idea. As evidence of all of Vicky's appearances, she is a massive, giant heat magnet.
Right.
And I think the belief is that the heat will translate to Andrade. But I don't think so because the heat comes from her WWE character, the excuse me catchphrase. The heat was actually so bad, most of the audience missed Andrade being announced because the boos were so loud, you couldn't hear what she was saying. And he had no music, he had no Tron, so his presentation already to start with, you only had Vicky saying his name. That's poor. What I would have done if I was booking, I can't remember his exact name right now, but I would have paired Andrade with the gentleman who's managing Pentagon, because he's amazing. And it would have let Andrade flourish with his own charisma while letting this guy still back him up.
Alex Montez, right? With that Somebody else.
Yeah.
My bad, yeah.
Him. Yeah. Or you can have Vicky come in later and try to, steal him from the guy. She wants her own client since the collective stopped happening. So maybe you could have done that later, but it could have established Andrade as his own man, let him get the pop for the night instead of Vicky.
No, I agree. That's a really well put point. So thank you. We're going to be transitioning here over to, of course, my favorite part of the show, because y'all have to shut up while I do it, the New Japan Blitz. But before we get to that, we want to go ahead and thank everyone who has joined us so far on the Game Changer Sports Network with the Ringside Roundup. Once again, we appreciate everyone that comes in and gives us a view and checks us out. And, of course, if you want to see more of us, GameChangerSportsNetwork.com, or you can follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok. We're just about everywhere. So come and give us a like, give us a follow, share us with your friends. We cover all news on when it comes to sports, and it's from fans for fans. That's what it comes down to. So thank you, and thank you once again for all your support, and thank you for joining us on this very long but special episode of Ringside Roundup. Now, that being said, it's time for the New Japan Blitz. Whooshaw! Battle positions. Yeah, that's right. How did that feel? This is pretty cool, right? We're going to play around.
By the way, Jay, you're not the only one who watched Japanese wrestling this time. Just want to say.
I'm not either.
Aha!
So I watched it as well.
Too bad. There we go. Now I'm bigger than both of you, so my opinion means more. All right, fine. So, when coming down to the road to Dominion, we had some titles on the line. Of course, the trios title, the never open weight tag titles, with Chaos, the team of Chaos, which is Goto, Ishii, and Yoshihashi, defending it against Bushi, Tetsuya Naito, and Sanada. Tetsuya Naito and Sanada are huge right now. I mean, in New Japan, can you name bigger stars than those two right now? Really? I mean, you can, but they are top echelon, top tier. And they lost to the defending champions with Yoshihashi getting the win, which is super interesting to me because I love Yoshihashi for all the wrong reasons, because he is a C+ wrestler. I mean, look, I know that I'm kind of a fool for loving Yoshihashi, but when it comes down to it, I'm willing to admit he's a C+ wrestler across the board. He can't fly great. His timing is always just a little bit off. He's not great on the mic. Like when he does get on the mic, the fans are just like, is he done talking? Okay, he is. So now we'll clap as he starts talking again after his pause. He doesn't connect perfectly at all. But I love him because he's such an underdog.
Jay, that's not Yoshitatsu, is it?
No, Yoshihashi.
So what happened to... Never mind. I'll ask you that later.
So
Yoshitatsu
anyway,
is his name. I get confused. That's all.
Okay, I apologize. But Yoshihashi ends up getting the win over Bushi, which, all right, when it comes down to it, that's not a surprise. And they get to keep the trios title. The returning Yo from Roppongi 3K at Dominion was unable to beat El Desperado for the juniors title. El Desperado has been phenomenal as the junior heavyweight champion. I cannot deny it. He is great. And the fact that he hasn't had this opportunity to shine before now absolutely throws me, because now that I can see everything that he's capable of, it's fantastic. Get the mask off him. He's also a super deadly handsome man. My God. When he got half of the mask like ripped off and you could just see part of his chiseled jawline, I was like, yeah, oh my God, look at him. So there's that. Boy, I'm still going. Ibushi defeats Jeff Cobb, part of the United Empire. I don't think any of us thought otherwise. I think Ibushi is going to do exactly what we want Sammy Guevara doing over at AEW for Pinnacle, and that's just go through and run the gauntlet. I think that's exactly what Ibushi's going to do. Jeff Cobb, next is Toa Hanare. After that, he's going to go after the great Okan, and then if and when Will Ospreay is better, he's going to go after him again. Does anyone see it playing any other way?
Sounds good to me.
Martin, I know I said you all have to shut up while I'm doing this. That's not true. You can go ahead and throw in your 2 cents.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm thinking that he's probably going to go for the world title because did he get challenged for the world title as well?
Did Ibushi challenge for the world title?
Didn't Shingo, did he call him out after the match?
I did not get that far. Literally just watched the match right before we started this. And
journalism.
Naturally, I was watching I didn't get to watch the whole post part of the show. I watched just the match and went, okay, now I got to set this stuff up. It is very possible that he called out Ibushi. If we want to go ahead and get someone to check in on me for that.
Yeah,
but then Martin, you went ahead and spoiled it.
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Y'all are spoiling the next match, which of course was Shingo versus Okada for the vacant world championship. And Shingo ends up winning it, which that was a huge surprise to me. I'm gonna go ahead.
Shingo!
Okada not winning that was a huge surprise. I had Okada too.
I think we all did, but I'm hyped. Oh, it's so good.
I don't mind it.
Look, I am more than hyped. Shingo has been. I would go ahead and say, go ahead, guys, but you're all lagging at the moment, and I don't know if it's my side or your side. When it comes down to it, Shingo has been the #1 guy for great matches consistently for over the past year. When it comes to singles matches, Shingo has been that guy. Let's not deny it. Mind you, that is also, of course, my opinion, but I don't think you'll see a lot of people argue that opinion. Shingo has been fantastic. On that note, maybe we should have seen this coming because the World Championship now has had 3 champions, all of which never had the main title in New Japan before that. Of course, Kota Ibushi transforms the heavyweight title into the world title. Will Ospreay had never won the heavyweight title, and then he wins the world title. Shingo never won the heavyweight title and now has won the world title. Is this a storyline? Is this new title an evolution versus a legacy kind of story? Are we going to see old heavyweight champions such as Tanahashi, Okada, or Naito be in the running to actually be the new world champion? Or are we going to see a lot more newcomers? Perhaps Goto, Sonata, and things like that, and guys like that who have never won the heavyweight title be more of the guys that we see holding this world title. It's hard to say. I'm interested in this. I'm invested in this.
Yeah,
I'll take your guys' thoughts and opinions on that, especially when it comes to the legacy and evolution.
Yeah, I think the way this is going to go is they're going to lean towards the younger guys, the guys that never got their shot, those guys that never won the title, because that's the good way. That's a good way to get eyes on the product. Also, Jay, I have a question for you. Do you think Shingo is going to hold on to the title until Ospreay comes back?
I'm going to have to say yes, because there has now been 3 champions while that title has only been around for 4 months in a company that traditionally does not change champions that quickly. And I understand it was due to injury, but having Ibushi lose that first title defense against Will Ospreay getting injured, this has now been bing, bam, boom, right after the other. 3 different champions in the span of 4 months. Unheard of. So I'm going to have to say Shingo has to hold on to it. Shingo has to hold on to it.
Yeah, I kind of figured he should hold on to it until Osprey comes back next year, and then Osprey's going to take the title, and then Osprey's going to have an actual run.
Well, I mean, I think Osprey. I think Martin, you and I both agreed that Osprey was going to have a long run. Unfortunately, I still owe Craith the pizza because he didn't last to the end of the summer.
Whoa!
So, but that being said, I think if he has an uninjured reign, we should see him being champion for quite a while. All right. We've got about 7.5 minutes. We've got two other.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to add something about New Japan?
Yeah, I did, because there's two things I'm good for on the show. The first one's rants, and the second one's conspiracy theories. So if everyone wants to put on the conspiracy caps with me, and I think this is what happened. They wanted to make Ibushi champion, right? And they did. I think AEW threw a butt ton of money to get Ibushi, not his contract, but just to come over and do some shows. And I think that's going to come after his story with UN. I don't think he's going to wait for Ospreay. I think it's going to be sooner than that. So they took the title off of Ibushi, thinking, all right, we got to send him to the States. So he obviously isn't going to be around because all the quarantine stuff. So let's give it to Ospreay. Ospreay unfortunately gets injured. So now they went with my man, Shingo. But I don't think Shingo holds it till Ospreay. I think they're going to give a couple more defenses. I would love to see Shingo versus Sonata and Tanahashi. I think that'd be fantastic. But I do think eventually he drops it to Okada, and then they just kind of substitute him in for Ospreay. I wouldn't be surprised if New Japan waited until Ospreay came back next year, because they're known for long booking like that. But I don't think it's likely. I think they'll run Okada and Shingo again later, after he goes through some more legends.
Do you think that it's going to be someone that used to hold the heavyweight title that could be champion? Because what are your guys' opinions if Tanahashi were to win this title? Would you say that it's not good, or would you say that helps cement the title as, being part of the history of the IWGP heavyweight title?
I would say it's not good. I feel like right now, with the pattern they've been doing, it looks like something internal happened where Bushiroad's now deciding to push younger stars for the future. But I absolutely think that Tanahashi and Naito need to lose to the current new gen people so they can kind of build Belt's legacy that way. And then later have Okada, he can come and take it, because Okada kind of bridges both, because he's not exactly old yet, but he's not part of the new guard. He's been around for forever.
I would say the same thing with Naito, though. I think Naito and Okada are closer than, per se, Tanahashi, who's been around for years at this point and is basically being kind of transitioned into a dad position, as I call them, like Kojima, Nagata, Tenzan. Soon Tanahashi's going to join those ranks as a New Japan dad, where he'll still shine, just like they do on occasion, but his time is definitely in the waning section. And I agree. I do not see him. I couldn't see them putting the belt on him, because I do believe that it's evolution versus legacy. If anyone gets to do that, it will be Naito and Okada to cement the legacy of this new title, but with a bigger focus on newer guys like Sonata and things like that. I would love to see just new champions as well. Minoru Suzuki, who's over 50 at this point, or is 50 at this point, never won the heavyweight title. Kind of love to see him have a short reign with it. But, he's an old man. He's a vicious old man who I would never, ever cross. But, so that wraps up the New Japan Blitz. And now we've got a little less than 4 minutes. At this point, we got the special show, so if we go over by a couple of minutes, that's fine. We've got a couple of big news elsewhere in the world, and I think we'll go ahead and start with one of the most entertaining ones, and that was Matt Cardona attacking Nick Gage at Game Changer Wrestling. which has no relationship, obviously, to the Game Changer Sports Network. But this was huge. This was like, I watched some of the videos of the attack afterwards, and this crowd went nuts. What do we think about this?
Yep. It was great. The crowd sold it. The announcer sold it. Matt Cardona, I'm sorry, he sold it with the little shoulder wiggles and the Death Rider. It was all just, it was great. It was perfection.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good spot. To be, at one point, I thought it was really John Moxley. Because he looked like Moxley, did the DDT like Moxley, but when he took the hood off, that crowd went ballistic. And to me,
it was an amazing moment.
That was amazing, and that reminds me of when Ryder won the Intercontinental Championship.
Except people weren't chanting "F you Cardona" or what was the "F you Ryder" when he won the title, though. Yeah. No, he got super heat for that.
He got super heat, and he played right into it, and that was the amazing part. He showed his face, and people started booing. It also just shows their love for Nick Gage at that point. And he went
Jay,
right into it.
They don't love Nick Gage. They really thought it was Moxley because Moxley and Gage have been Twitter feuding for a long time.
Oh, yes,
so
that too,
the crowd bought it. You know, Nick Gage is nobody likes Nick Gage. We watch his matches to see him beat up, right? It's just awful. He almost killed Arquette. Come on.
Okay, look. Okay, hey, you know.
What would we do without David Arquette?
What would we do without David Arquette?
Yeah, so,
and to wrap it up, NWA has made a interesting move by giving Mickie James free reign to produce an all-female NWA pay-per-view. So that's pretty interesting. Do we think Mickie James will be able to pull this off?
If anybody can pull it off, it's Mickie James. She has so much experience in the wrestling ring. She knows how to get wrestling. She knows how to wrestle matches. She knows the ins and outs. To me, I think she's going to do a really good job.
And are we excited about an all-female pay-per-view? I personally, absolutely. I've watched Stardom, and it's an underrepresented. I think in America, all women's wrestling is pretty underrepresented. It's because we have so many shows that already have both in them. You know, men's wrestling and women's wrestling. So having an all-female pay-per-view, I would be 100% behind that.
Especially with Mickie producing it.
If they can get some talent from AEW and perhaps Impact to come and help out,
yes,
I think it's going to be amazing. I've correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Mickie James had a hand in helping produce the Revolution in WWE.
That I'm not 100% sure, but I know
she was a strong supporter for there being a sequel to that pay-per-view, which obviously hasn't happened. It doesn't matter. Oh, that's a lot.
There's another NWA pay-per-view the next day.
Yeah, you can take some lower card women, though.
Yeah.
I mean, AEW only uses 4 women on a pay-per-view anyway, so they got the rest of the roster. Oh, 2. So welcome, Thirsty Dawn.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for joining us. This is our special, now apparently over 2-hour-long rant for Ringside Roundup to catch up on everything that we've missed over the last couple of weeks. And hopefully, once Jake and I can get on the right page, because it's not Craith. Craith, you are good boy. You are the one that is not to blame. It's Jake and I. Once Jake and I can get on the right page, we're going to be bringing TEW back for sure. You're going to see the flagship sail off into the distance, into the sunlight, the sunset, whatever the saying is, victorious one of these days.
And you know, the dirt sheets might have been reporting that one of the players besides Jake might have purchased TEW 2020 to get some practice in during the hiatus.
Ooh.
Allegedly.
We all know it's not the cheap one. So, but yeah. So I think this should be pretty fun. I'd love to see it, especially if they're able to get some more talent from even just across all the other indies as well. And it's NWA. They usually have some pull in being able to get really whoever's available. So if you can get some local talent, to really just be able to have the availability to showcase what they've got, I think that'd be fantastic.
Agreed.
But
my dog is curled up. Hello.
We are at the 2-hour mark. We are actually beyond the 2-hour mark, guys. When it comes down to it, here at the Ringside Roundup, do we have anything else to add real quickly? Or did we finally cover all the stuff that we've been missing lately?
I think we covered it.
We did good, boys.
We did good. We done good, buddy boy. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, all you game changers out there, thank you so much for joining us on our Ringside Roundup 2-hour special, catching up with all the latest wrestling news for you. We want to say thank you for joining us and remind you that your support is highly, highly appreciated. And whether it's on Facebook, Twitch, wherever you happen to catch us on YouTube, we thank you so much. And we ask that you continue to support us. Give us a like, give us a share. Hop on to Twitch and give us a follow over there. That's kind of the big one right now. And of course, if you want to see any of us anymore, continue to keep your eyes out for the Game Changer Sports Network. I'm Jay Dare. You can also find me on my own Twitch channel. Links in the description. Craith TV. He has his own streaming, of course, as well. Link in the description. Martin, he writes articles for the Game Changer Sports Network, and they're freaking wonderful. So you know where to find us. We appreciate you guys. And when it comes down to it, we want you all to have a wonderful night and enjoy your wrestling week. Ladies and gentlemen, for the Game Changer Sports Network, I'm Jay Dare. That's Martin Lee. Adam Craith below me. Take care and have a wonderful night.
Later.